Love. Game 2 of the 7-game road trip continues for the Hayes Larks. They travel down here to western Nebraska to face off against the Pioneers. These two teams have actually already played each other this season. It was down in Hayes, Kansas. It was one game got delayed and ended up being postponed, and they continued to play that game, a doubleheader against the western Nebraska Pioneers. Two 7-inning games. The Larks able to get 2 victories out of them. First game they won 11-2, and then the second game went all the way to the 9th inning, playing extra innings in that 7-inning battle, where the Larks got a walk-off hit by Wilbert Espinal to win Game 2 and sweep them at home. But now we're down in Pioneer territory here in Nebraska, and as I said, the Larks, you got a lot of road games coming up, as this is the second game of their 7-game road trip in the next 10 days, or in the last 10 days. This is going to be an exciting day of baseball. Two teams in the RMBL Conference facing it off tonight, as the Hayes Larks are at the top of the division while the Western Nebraska Pioneers are around the middle of the pack. And this is going to be a good one, as I said. I mean, these two teams have shown that they can compete against each other, especially in that Game 2 game. But we'll see what happens tonight, as Garrett Hicks will take the mound for the Larks. We'll get you guys the rest of the batting order and such, as the Larks will face off against the Pioneers here shortly. The Larks are 6 hours away from home as they're down here in Gearing, Nebraska to face off against the Western Nebraska Pioneers. As the Larks on a bit of a hot streak of their own, 8 wins in a row in conference play. They played on Monday against the Junction City Brigade in a Battle of the Bats game where final score is 15-7 as the Larks pulled away with a victory on the road in their first road game of this 7-game road trip. As the Larks for 10 days will be away from Larks Park. Their next home game will not be until July 4th. As we'll have a fireworks show after the game and such. It'll be a good time at Larks Park. We invite you to celebrate July 4th with us down at Larks Park. Only one camera for you guys tonight as we got the press box camera. We're actually inside today, so we can actually talk a bit louder to you guys as the last few games we've been on the road. And we've had to sit in the stands, so that was an interesting experience. But tonight we got a different type of broadcast for you guys. Just the one camera, but that's all right. We got you guys baseball. That's all that matters as the Larks almost about to start here on a nice day here in Gearing, Nebraska. And we'll get you guys to meet the Larks lineup. And there you have it. Frank Leo is back with the Larks as he was out of town at the College World Series to support Dylan Dreiling as we have a little cameos to him later on in the ball game. But here tonight down in Gearing, Nebraska, first pitch almost underway as the Larks be facing off against Eric Elliott on the mound, the left-handed pitcher, as first pitch of the ball game up inside and near the head of the batter Trent Baker. First pitch coming in at 6:35. Bit of an earlier start time to today's game. Usually around 7 o'clock, but today will be 6:35. The Larks and the Pioneers will play in 2 games against each other. Game today and a game tomorrow. Next pitch foul back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here to Trent Baker. Larks are 10-1 in RMBL play, while the Pioneers are 5-8. Both teams above 500 overall. Larks are 14-2, while the Pioneers are 13-9. The 1-1 pitch outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Here, the top of the order hitter in Trent Baker. Baker, who led off the game against the Brigade in Monday's game with a leadoff home run to get things started. A ball that was absolutely crushed out to left center field. That was a non-league game, so that does not go towards the point streak stats. As next pitch here. Finds the zone, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here to the top of the order here in Trent Baker. Eric Elliott, who enters this season 0-1, his third start on the year, an ERA of 6.13. Struck out 10 batters and walked 12. Breaking ball pitch runs inside on Baker. Count moves to full here to the first batter in Trent Baker. Reached base 5 times in the game against the Brigade on Monday. Looks to continue his success here in a conference play against the Pioneers. Ball put into play to the right side. Second baseman fields it off the hop. Fires it to first in time for the first out. First out coming from Gieran Gaffney. And first out brought to you by Simply Order. So Eric Elliott gets his first out on the day, bringing us to Caden Ashton. Larks have been looking good of late. 9 wins in a row overall, but 8 wins in a row in conference play. They have been dominating. The bats have been going, but the pitching has been just as strong. Excited to see Garrett Hicks on the mound tonight as first pitch to Ashton finds the zone. Lefty versus lefty here in the top of the first. Runs outside. Count moves even, 1 ball and 1 strike here to Caden Ashton. Ashton, who went on a 9-game hit streak earlier this season, is one of the top hitters on the ball club with a .341 average and 41 at-bats. 14 hits to go along on the season with 10 runs scored. This one will miss upstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike here to Caden Ashton. If you did not catch our batting order preview video, we got Baker to lead us off, Ashton second, Caleb Duncan third, Espinal in the cleanup spot, Gruel fifth, Will Carpenter sixth, Houston Russell seventh, 8th spot Tabor Stokes, and in the 9-hole Thomas Lissy, as this will miss down in the dirt. 3 balls, 1 strike here with 1 away, nobody on in the top of the first. Ashton looking to get on. Had a good day there today against the Brigade as well. Everyone in the lineup got on base at least once. It was a game where 15 runs came around to score by the Larks. They've been solid up to this point in the season. They're looking to continue and try to run away with the conference, currently in first place. Next one, Ashton hits to the opposite side and through the hole into left field. Base knock and first hit of the game coming from the bat of Caden Ashton. As runner on first now here with 1 out. Bring up Caleb Duncan, the 3-hole batter. Duncan, who's been one of the star players on the team this season. Great speed, great defense ability. In the Brigade game, he actually played over at second base. It was his first time playing in the infield this season. Had been playing out in the outfield in his first few games with the ball club this year. He's made 8 starts on the season, his 9th today, as this one will miss upstairs for the first ball of the at-bat. .333 average for Caleb Duncan. More walks than strikeouts. Love to see that. 6-3 walk to strikeout ratio. Ashton over at first base. Next pitch from Elliott will miss upstairs as well. 2 balls and no strikes. Ashton, who has 4 stolen bases on the season. The 2-0 misses up and in as Duncan ahead 3-0. 84 degrees is the weather. A bit cloudy today. There was a chance of rain, but the Larks were able to avoid the rain and get this game underway. It was supposed to come around at 5, but nothing came as this pitch will find the inside part of the plate as first strike of the at-bat to Caleb Duncan. There is a chance for rain from 7 to 8, it looks like. It's at 60% for 7 o'clock and 65 for 8 o'clock. They can just get 5 innings of play in at least. They can consider this a full-length game as this one fought off and fouled towards the Lark dugout. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Andy Luton over the third base coach side today. Looks like Nolan Wilson's our first base coach for today. It's full count here to Caleb Duncan. Asher with the delayed steal, but does not matter. That runs inside ball 4. Asher will advance to second. Duncan will head down to first here with 1 out. All right, 15 pitches thrown this inning so far from Eric Elliott as another lefty versus lefty matchup, and Wilbert Espinal to bat. Was the last at bat in their series back in Larks Park, had a walk-off single to win it in the bottom of the 9th in the game that was only supposed to go 7 innings. First pitch to Espinal finds the zone. Espinal, who was our hitter of the week for week 3, and he's been a dominant bat all season. He was up for a nominee for hitter of the week every single week this year. He's always been around the 300, even the 400 mark. Currently sitting at a 368 average. This one gets away from the catcher as all the runners will advance 90 feet. Ashton will go to third, and Duncan will go to second. Ball in play will score a run for the Larks now as they look to strike early. Espinal has 10 RBIs on the year in conference play. A ball to the right side could possibly score 2. This is the first time the Larks this year have played on a dirt field, other than Cavalier Field, I believe. Off the top of my head, I believe they have a dirt field. This is their first one in a while. This one fouled back, and tonight we don't have to worry about our camera shaking up. Usually our camera's on the net, but tonight we're up in the press box. So we'll have to worry about going down and fix it. So that one's fouled back, and count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Wilbert Espinal. Dirt and grass infield. This one will miss downstairs in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to the lefty batter, Wilbert Espinal. The Larks on the season batting .331 through their 11 games played this year in conference play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Eric Elliott versus Wilbert Espinal here in the top of the first. Larks look to come up early as he'll put this one, but will go out of play. Fouled back. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Already 20 pitches 20 pitches thrown so far by Eric Elliott. Listed at 6'3", 200 pounds, out of Maryland Eastern Shore. Junior year for him. Grew up in Glendale, Missouri. This one hit up to the opposite field. This one's right to the left fielder, though, as he'll make the catch for the second out. But Ashton will tag and score with ease. The Larks strike first here in the top of the first with a sac fly RBI from Wilbert Espinal. Quality at bat from Espinal, working the pitch count up against Eric Elliott, and then bringing home a run after the sac fly RBI out to left field. Bring up Garrett Gruel, the 5-hole batter tonight. 2 away. Duncan still over at second. First pitch from the left-handed pitcher outside. Garrett Gruel, who's third on the team in batting average with a .387. His 10th start on the year. 31 at-bats this season. Low breaking ball finds the zone for the first strike of the at-bat to Garrett Gruhl. Larks have been striking early on in the ball games this season. A very first inning, second inning heavy team where they're able to score more than one run in almost every game they play. Majority of them actually, as this one found out of play out towards the right field foul area. As 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Garrett Gruhl. The Pioneers, who are led by head coach and Shane Sharkey. And as we said, Frank Leo is back with the team. He'll be the manager for tonight. The 1-2. This one found out of play as well. Garrett Gruhl putting up a good at-bat here against Eric Elliott. A beautiful ballpark this is down here in Gearing, Nebraska. Very nice stands. I mean, you come into the ballpark, it almost has like a major league and college atmosphere. They're selling shirts, stuff, the concession stands. You got flags and stuff around the ballpark. A very nice field. The bleachers, if you look, can't see it from our angle, but if you come to the ballpark, behind the Larks dugout and a little bit down the right field line, there's a playground and a little, might be a little standing area. That's some umbrellas for some shade over there as Gruhl put this one in play to the left side. Third baseman will take it away from the shortstop. Fire to first on the throw, or on the throw for the third out. The Larks bring home 1 run thanks to Wilbert Espinal as the Larks lead 1-0 here at the top of the first. Garrett Hicks to get us going here in the bottom of the first as he'll make his first start in conference play this season. He's pitched an inning and a third. That was against the Game Day Angels on June 22nd, where he went an inning and a third. Didn't give up any earned runs, 1 hit allowed, and got the save, where he struck out 3 batters in the 5 batters he faced as leadoff batter for the Pioneers and Garen Gaffney. Hicks gets ahead in the count 0-2 here early on to the top of the order hitter and Gaffney. This one fouled back. Hicks with the ERA on the year of 0 after just working that 1 1/3 inning of work. This will miss outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Defensive alignment for the Larks today: Trent Baker and left, Caleb Duncan in center, Caden Ashton and right. Running it up the middle, Tabor Stokes at short, Will Carpenter at second, Thomas Lissy over at third, running the hot corner alongside first baseman Garrett Gruhl, and then catching Houston Russell. Larks defense this year has been outstanding, especially the middle infield. Biggest lineup change tonight. I mean, there is actually a lot of lineup changes compared to Monday's game. As Tabor Stokes, he was playing third base against the Brigade on Monday's game. He's moved over to short. Thomas Lissy back in the lineup over at third. Will Carpenter, who was catching on Monday, he'll be at second, and this one out to left field. This one's got a chance to get out of here, and it will get out of here as the leadoff batter and Kieran Gaffney with a 2 ball and 2 strike count leaves the yard. And that will tie this game up at 1 even here in the first, as the Pioneers respond back quickly here with the first batter in the bottom of the first. So the first base hit for the Pioneers leaves the yard as it is now 1-1 here in the bottom of the first after the solo blast from Kieran Gaffney, the second baseman, as now it brings up the right fielder, Francisco Leia. Hicks, who throws the fastball, slider, curveball, and changeup. This one finds the zone. Hicks once again gets ahead in the count 0-2. We've seen this out in his last outing where he was able to get ahead in the count 0-2 very early on. This one will miss outside, though. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Francisco Leia. 1-2 misses. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Larks rocking their red uniforms today with the gray sliding pants, while the Pioneers rocking the same outfit they wore in the doubleheader against the Larks. As this one hits the left side, this one will go foul, though. As heading back to batter's box is Leia. As I said, the Pioneers rocking their black uniform top with the white sliding pants. The white Pioneers lettering all across the chest, with the blue numbering on the back with the white outline. So back to the batter's box, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch from the full is Hicks. This will miss outside. This count moves to full. Nobody on, nobody out. Tie ball game after Kieran Gaffney tied this game up with a solo blast. This will be popped up. This one might stay in play. Running over is Garrett Gruhl near the fence, and he'll make the grab right in front of the fence for the first out for Garrett Hicks. So Hicks responds back well after the leadoff home run and gets a pop out to Francisco Leia, as now brings us to Luke Nowak. The Pioneers put up a good showcase in Game 2 where they went to extra innings. In fact, they were winning that game up until late. 2-1 ball game, and the Larks were able to get a couple of runs and bring it to extra innings. End up winning that game, final score of 3-2 after a walk-off hit for Espinal. This one fouled back. Hicks wants to get ahead and count 0-2 here to Luke Nowak. Yo-2 finds his own strike 3 as Garrett Hicks catches Luke Nowak looking for his first punch out on the day. 2 away here in the bottom of the first. First ball put to the right side. Second baseman and Will Carpenter fires at first in time. A quick third out for the bat of Bryce Peterson. As after the leadoff home run, Hicks goes 1-2-3 to end the first, as the Pioneers respond back quickly after the Larks put up a run at the top of the first, as this one 1-1 heading to the second. Both sides put up a run in the first after the Larks are able to get a sac fly RBI from Wilbert Espinal. But then the Pioneers respond back quickly from Kieran Gaffney, a solo blast to get the Pioneers going as this game's all tied up, 1 even, as Eric Elliott back to the mound for his second inning of work. This ball misses the zone, 1 ball, no strikes here to Will Carpenter. Larks are able to get 2 base runners on base, and Caden Ashton had that leadoff single, then came around to score. Caleb Duncan was stranded at second. The 1-1 misses downstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike here to Will Carpenter. Tonight's game's the third contest between the 2 ball clubs. They'll play again tomorrow down here in Gearing, Nebraska. This ball catches the part of the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes here to Will Carpenter, the second baseman. Carpenter, who's played every position in the infield, third, short, second, first, and catcher. He's been a utility guy all season. He's been a really solid hitter for the Larks as this one misses up high. 3 balls, 2 strikes now. Nobody on, nobody out here to Will Carpenter. Pitch from Elliott. This one put down the right field line, but will go foul and off of the hand of Nolan Wilson, our first base coach for today. 32 pitches already from Eric Elliott through just an inning of work. Houston Russell on deck, Tabor Stokes in the hole. So Will Carpenter looks to get on with the full count here against Eric Elliott. The pitch from Elliott, this one put up high in the sky, but will go out of play as count remains full here to Will Carpenter. Carpenter batting .320 on the season, his 11th start. 8 base hits, 9 walks on the season. More walks and strikeouts as this one will catch the inside part of the zone of Carpenter for the first out. So Eric Elliott gets his first punch out on the day against the Larks as that brings up the catcher in Houston Russell. Houston Russell, who got the day off in Monday's game against the Brigade down in Junction City, Kansas. Will Carpenter caught that day. Houston Russell, who was actually our first base coach for that game. His first pitch to Russell finds the zone. Elliott gets ahead in the count early. This one runs up and in against Houston Russell. 1 ball and 1 strike. Houston Russell, who leads the team in batting average at .433, his 10th start on the season. Next one put into play. A little slow, little chopper that the third base has to run up on to throw over in time to record the second out. Nice play by the third baseman and Bryce Peterson to record the second out. It's 2 outs now as it brings up the shortstop in Tabor Stokes. Played third base on Monday's game. Him and C.J. Reed, who played college together at Butler Community College, they got a chance to run the third base and shortstop side in Monday's game. And they were a dominant duo down for Butler Community College, both batting above .300 at the top of the lineup, and they were really solid as next pitch finds the zone. No balls, 2 strikes here. The shortstop in Tabor Stokes. Elliott looks for the sign, fires it in. Stokes stays alive as he'll foul this one out of play. 40th pitch coming up for Eric Elliott. Stokes, who's got 9 base hits on the season, looking for number 10 here. He's going to choke up and protect here with no balls and 2 strikes. This will run inside down the dirt. And as I said, I mean, this is one of the few times this year the Larks will be playing on a dirt field. They're used to playing on the turf field. Ball travels faster and it's a bit bouncier. Here, if you hit the ball into the grass in the middle infield, it just kind of dies on you. We saw it in that ground ball hit to the third baseman of Bryce Peterson in this half inning, where the ball just kind of stuck to the grass. He had to run in on it. This count still 1-2 here to Tabor Stokes. This one fouled out of play on a line to right side. Stokes, who's hit both his foul balls to the right side. Good job by Stokes, just waiting back, making sure it's not a breaking ball pitch, especially with the count being 1-2. Just staying alive, waiting for the right time and right pitch to come up big. This one misses down low, 2 balls and 2 strikes here at the shortstop in Tabor Stokes. The 2-2 once again, another one fouled out of play into the right field area. Stokes putting up a battle here against Eric Elliott here in the top of the second. Already 43 pitches for the left-handed dealer. Next one ripped into left field, and that one's going to get down for a base hit. It will go all the way to the wall as Stokes rounds first. He'll head towards second with ease, as that'll be a 2-out double from the bat of Tabor Stokes. Tabor Stokes' first double on the season, or correction, 4th double on the season, as he'll take over at second here with 2 outs. Bring up the 9-hole batter, and Thomas Lissy here with 2 away. Lissy, who won hitter of the week for week 2, one of the best bottom of the order hitters in the RMBL. Second on the team in average at .414. This one will run and find the zone. The first strike at the at-bat here to Thomas Lissy. Top of the order looming around the corner here with 2 away. Trent Baker on deck. Next pitch from Lissy, hit into left center field alley, and that's going to get down, and now go to the wall. Stokes will score with ease as Lissy will round first, head to 2, and the Larks strike back once again in back-to-back innings with a run as an RBI double from Thomas Lissy gives the Larks the lead. Larks strike back here in the top of the second with 2 outs as back-to-back doubles put the Larks on the board and give them the lead, as once again 2 away, and now the top of the order hitter in Trent Baker up to bat as Tabor Stokes came around to score. First pitch here to Trent Baker, down low. That was Thomas Lissy's 4th double on the season. Along with his 6th RBI on the year. Next pitch put into play out towards right field. This ball will stay in the ballpark, though, into the glove of Francisco Lea for the 3rd out. But the Larks strike back with back-to-back doubles with 2 outs thanks to the bat of Tabor Stokes and Thomas Lissy, as we'll head to the bottom of the second. Larks up 2-1. back into action here in the bottom of the second. As Garrett Hicks back to the mound, Jackson Yeager to lead us off, Ethan Mooser on deck, and Jake Maroney in the hole. Yeager, our first baseman tonight for the Pioneers, as next pitch here to Yeager, find his own, 1 ball and 1 strike. Pioneers look to try to tie things up after the Larks responded back after they tied it in the bottom of the first. A run has been scored in every half inning so far. Let's see if that pattern continues as Hicks looking to get some bounce back. I mean, he bounced back really well in the first. He allowed that leadoff home run, and then against the Harvey order 2, 3, and 4, was able to set them down 1, 2, 3. We got to be careful with this Pioneer lineup that's shown they can cause damage. This one's popped up high in the sky, and it'll stay in the infield as Garrett Gould will run in a few steps and make the grab for the first out. Pop out from Jackson Yeager brings us the DH tonight and Ethan Mooser. Hicks pitching from the full, fires this one in. This will go to the right side, and Gruel back-to-back plays coming for him. He'll flip it on to first, but will go off of the glove of Hicks, and that will go down as an E1 as it went off the glove of Hicks, just popped right out of the glove as Mooser will reach first. So now double play possibility is in deck as it brings up Jake Maroney, tonight's catcher. So Mooser will take over at first base. Hicks will pitch from the stretch here with 1 out and 1 runner on at first. First pitch from Hicks misses down low, 1 ball, no strikes. Here to the catcher and Jake Maroney. Pioneers who have been on a bit of a win streak themselves, 4 in a row. This pitch will find his own, 1 ball, 1 strike. Played against the Greeley Grays. Swept them, won the first game 13-1, the second game 2-1. This one swung on a miss. Hicks ahead in the count 1-2. Here to the 7th batter and Jake Maroney. 1-2 from Hicks. This one we fouled out of play by Maroney as the at-bat will continue. One, two, once again. This one downstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Jake Maroney. So far, still no rain. The clouds are looming above us. Gray skies. Looks like there is a bit of a storm on its way. 100% chance for rain around 8 o'clock as this one hit up the middle as Tabor Stokes will take it to the bag himself. Fire to first in time for the double play as the Larks able to work against the air and get a double play to only face 3 batters here for Garrett Hicks. As we're through 2 innings, the Larks up 2-1. 2, 3, and 4, Caden Ashton, Caleb Duncan, and Wilbert Espinal will face off against Eric Elliott as he'll head into the third inning down by 1 as the Larks able to put a blank on the scoreboard at the bottom of the second after a double play that got him out of the inning after an error as this one run up and in on the batter and Caden Ashton. Caden Ashton, who's gotten a hit in 9 out of 10 games this season for the Larks, all in conference play, that is. This one will find his zone, count loose to even, 1 ball, 1 strike. The thing that really impresses me about Caden Ashton is his on-base ability. 4 walks from him on the season with 14 hits, 13 of those hits being singles. The only extra base hit he has was a home run that he hit in his first game with the Larks in conference play against the Denver Cougars back on June 7th. Finds a way to get on base by any means, just puts the ball in play, and very patient hitter. This one misses upstairs. 3 balls and 1 strike here to the outfielder and Caden Ashton. Played in left field in Monday's game. Tonight over in right field as Espinal will take over the DH spot. Breaking ball that misses the zone, ball 4. As Caden Ashton will reach first in back-to-back at-bats. Now that brings up Caleb Duncan. The Larks scored in the top of the first. Caden Ashton got on, and then Caleb Duncan was able to get on next. Pass ball that then led to Wilbert Espinal getting a sac fly RBI. First pitch, Duncan shows bunt will popped up and go foul. Lefty versus righty here with Caleb Duncan being the batter. He's had 3 multi-hit games this season. He's reached base in his last 2 games that he started. This one will miss the zone. Correction, pickoff throw. I was looking down, was it? Looked up, thought the pitch was already thrown, but it was a pickoff attempt. So the count's still 0-1 to Duncan. He'll show bunt again, but this one will miss upstairs for the first ball of the at-bat. 1 ball, 1 strike here to Caleb Duncan, the center fielder. Caleb Duncan will be going to Wichita State after this season. Grew up in Goodyear, Arizona. Ashton still over at first. The 1-1 pitch finds the outside part of the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes as Duncan looks to protect here with 2 strikes in the at-bat. Two strikes because the Ashton on the move as he was on the move with the pickoff throw over. Not a good enough throw and unable to apply the tag as the first baseman. So Ashton able to get back in time. Pioneers had a feeling they were going to be going with 2 strikes and almost caught Ashton on the move, but he got back in time safely. With the lefty on the mound, a bit of a struggle, a bit of a difficulty to try to read the pitcher as this one will hit the batter and Caleb Duncan. As Ashton was on the move, he'll just walk the rest of the way and take over at second, as Caleb Duncan will take over at first. So that brings up Wilbert Espinal, had a sac fly RBI in his last at-bat. Drove in his 11th RBI on the season. Larks are looking to just get at least 5 innings of play in today to consider this one a full contest. As around 8 o'clock, some rain projected to be around the ballpark as this one missed upstairs, throw down to second, gets away from the shortstop, but it'll go off of his glove and the second baseman able to corral it as Ashton back in time safely, and we'll have our first mound visit of the day coming from the head coach and Shane Sharkey. As we'll take a quick break here on the Larks Network. The at-bat will continue here against Wilbert Espinal as the mound visit is over with Eric Elliott. Remains in the game. There is an arm warming up in the bullpen for the Pioneers, getting stretched out at the moment. As Espinal looks to put some more runs on the board for the Larks, as they've scored a run in every inning so far. This one finds zone for the first strike at the AB. The first pitch after the mound visit that finds the zone. Espinal in his last 4 games has left the yard twice. His first home run against the Game Day Angels on June 22nd. And then in Monday's non-league game, he left the yard with a 3-run home run. He's been swinging for power lately. This one's popped up. Will get out of play. The cool thing about this ballpark down here in Gary, Nebraska is that there's a netting around like the fans and such. The nets also extend down to where the dugouts end as well. So that foul ball might have just snuck in between the cracks of the netting. So we'll do it again. 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Wilbert Espinal. The pitch called a strike, and that'll be strike 3 as the umpire called a strike and forgot the count. But that'll be a punch out nonetheless, as first out is recorded here in the top of the 3rd against the Larks. So that brings up the 5-hole batter in Garrett Gruhl. Grounded out to 3rd in his last at-bat. Garrett Gruhl will be attending UT San Antonio next season, UTSA. This one misses outside. Gruhl, who also made the start at first base in Monday's game, back over there today. On the move to third base is Ashton, as this one was down in the dirt and unable to corral it was the catcher and Jake Maroney, as both runners will steal a base. A double steal works, as now 2 runners in scoring position for the Larks here in the bottom of the 3rd. Ashton at 3rd, Duncan over at 2nd. Ashton, who stole his 5th stolen base on the season, has a pitch just at the knees for the first strike at the at-bat. 2 balls and 1 strike here to Garrett Gruhl. Tied for first on the team in RBIs with 10, and has a chance to get some here with 1 out. This one misses down in the dirt. Gets behind the catcher, but not far away, as the count moves to 3 balls and 1 strike. Wouldn't be the worst idea to walk Gruhl here, as he's one of these scarier bats in the lineup for the Larks. Problem is, you still got to face off against another 300 hitter in Will Carpenter and Houston Russell, who's batting 400. So just trying to get the out here against Garrett Gruhl. 3-1. This one will bounce into the catcher's glove and go off of it, as that will be a 5-pitch walk here to Garrett Gruhl, and he'll head down to first base. Bases are now juiced up for Will Carpenter. Gruhl at first, Duncan at 2nd, Ashton over at 3rd. As Carpenter looks to drive in a couple of RBIs here in the bottom of the 3rd and extend this Larks lead. Larks will be on the road for the next 5 games after this. Their next game will be tomorrow at 6:35 as well against the Pioneers. His first pitch here to Will Carpenter misses inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Extra Carpenter will find the inside part. His count moves to 1-1. Carpenter has 3 RBIs on the season. Ball to the right side. Could possibly score 2 here as this one swung on and miss. His count moves to 1-2. As Eric Elliott trying to bounce back after the walk to Garrett Gruhl. The 1-2. Good eye by Carpenter, as misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Will Carpenter, the Ohio State native, We thank you guys tuning in on the Larks Network here on the road. We encourage you guys to come down and join us for July 4th as we'll celebrate all together at the ballpark. Larks got a lot of away games coming up. Play the Pioneers today, and then they'll play the Fort Collins Foxes this weekend, Friday and Saturday. This next pitch to Carpenter up high. Count moves to full. Here with the bases loaded to the second baseman, Will Carpenter. Carpenter, who was in a full count in his last at-bat as well. The full count pitch from Elliott gets away from the catcher, and that will score a run. Duncan will round third and check it out and see if he can sneak in, but he will not. He will stay at third. As that will walk in a run, the Larks extend their lead to 2, as this could be the end of the day for Eric Elliott, as we'll have the head coach head out to the mound, talk things over with Eric Elliott. We could see a pitching change here in the bottom of the third. Larks up 3-1. Will Carpenter's 10th walk on the season brings home a run, his 4th RBI on the season, and also takes Eric Elliott out of the game, as that brings us to the new pitcher, and Rhonda Hella. Hella, who's appeared in 3 games this season, 9 innings pitched. He's got up 2 earned runs, struck out 11 batters with a 1-0 record. As he looks to get the first pitch here to Houston Russell. As this one goes foul. The first pitch, first strike of the day for Rhonda Hella. This one misses the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike here to Houston Russell. Rhonda Hella listed at 6'4", right-handed thrower. Out of University of Colorado, Colorado Springs, sophomore season. From the great state in New Mexico. It's the 1-1 pitch, swung on and miss. Looked like a slider there as 1 ball and 2 strikes here. The catcher in Houston, Russell. Russell with 7 RBIs on the season, grounded out in his last at bat to the third baseman in Peterson. Base is still loaded here with 1 out, 1-2 count. The pitch from Hella to Russell, fouled out of play. The lights were already turned on here at the ballpark as, like I said, the sky is just getting really gray. Rain projected around 8 o'clock. Double play possibility for Hella. So Russell looks to bring home a couple more Larks as he'll send this one out to left center field. Out to center field. The center fielder runs over and Carpenter. He'll run it down and makes the catch. Tagging is Caleb Duncan. And that will score the 4th run of the game for the Larks. As 2 runs here in the top of the 3rd makes it 4-1 Hayes Larks. So doing the job was Houston Russell, the sac fly RBI. As Gruel remains at second, Will Carpenter still over at first, has now 2 outs. First pitch of Stokes hit down the left field line, but foul. Stokes, who's got 7 RBIs on the season, looks to get 1 here with Gruel over at second base. This one swung on and chased. 0-2 count now here to Tabor Stokes against Rhonda Hella. .281 average on the season for Stokes. Larks looking to extend this lead. 4-1 ball game down here at Oregon Trail Park. The 0-2 from Hella outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Tabor Stokes. The Larks have driven in 68 runs this season before entering today's game. Have officially hit the 70th mark on the season for runs driven in, and Stokes will foul this one out right behind the backstop. This count means 1 ball and 2 strikes. Thomas Lissy on deck. Hella steps off the mound. Second baseman holding the runner on over at second and Garrett Gruel. The 1-2 once again, which is way outside, moves the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Tabor Stokes. Larks looking to get some more runs with 2 outs as they did in the 2nd inning. The pitch here, down in the dirt as count moves to full. Full count. Gruel over at second. Carpenter at first. Both of them will be on the move with a full count and 2 away. Stokes looking to put a ball in the alley or find a hole somewhere and try to bring home Garrett Gruel over at second base. Full count pitch from Hella. He'll step off the mound, actually. Pickoff attempt. Looks the runners back. Nobody was holding the runners on, so no throw needed. So once again, the full count. Runners on the move. This one swung on and missed. Strike 3. As a new pitcher, Rhonda Hella comes to the ball game, gets 2 outs, only allows 1 run to come around and score. As I'll go towards Eric Elliott's earned run average, as that will end the top of the 3rd. Larks put 2 more on the board as they're up 4-1 down here at Oregon Trail Park. Welcome back to the Larks Network here on the YouTube channel Hayes Larks Baseball. As bottom of the third, nobody on, nobody out, and Garrett Hicks back to the mound as he looks to go 3 innings of work as this one will miss downstairs for the first ball of the at-bat and his first time batting today in E.J. Barnes, the shortstop. Hicks, who's only allowed 1 base hit so far today, and that 1 base hit was a solo shot that got the game started for the Pioneers, coming from the bat of Kieran Gaffney. Besides that, he sat down. He's only faced 6 batters, allowed 1 runner to get on, but that was after an error. So he's been doing a solid job since allowing the leadoff home run. 2-1 from Hicks, put into play to Thomas Lissy, who takes it away from Stokes, fires at first in time for the first out, coming from the bat of E.J. Barnes. So brings us a 9-hole batter in Coy Carpenter, the center fielder. Coy, who really stood out back at home in Hays, Kansas, made a really couple of nice defensive plays actually out in center field. Helped prevent a couple of runs coming around to score. First pitch misses the zone here to Coy Carpenter. Hicks, who's already matched his, already broke his season high in innings pitched so far in a game. Only have him down for the 1 appearance, but I do believe he faced off the Nebraska Pioneers series back at home, but that stat's not in the book, so maybe I'm wrong on that. But he did pitch in the Game Day Angels series, as we talked about earlier. A good showcase for him. Got to talk to him after the game for our live post-game interview on the field. This one misses upstairs. 3 balls and 1 strike. Here's a 9-hole batter in Coy Carpenter, and that will be ball 4. As very similar to the second, the first runner gets out, but the second runner will reach first. As it brings to the top of the order, and Kieran Gaffney, who has the only base hit on the day so far for the Pioneers. That solo shot that got things going for the Pioneers back in the first. His time will be called, and Keith Harper, the pitching coach, will head out to the mound, talk things over with Garrett Hicks. As we'll take a short commercial break here on the Larks Network, as Keith Harper will go talk things over with Garrett Hicks. Short mound visit here for Garrett Hicks as he'll get back into action. Runner at first in Coy Carpenter. Top of the order here in Gaffney as this will be hit out to shallow right field. Asher will run in on it, find it in the dark sky, and make the catch for the second out. So Hicks wins the second battle against Gaffney. 1 for 2 day for him now as it brings us to the right fielder in Francisco Leah. Dimensions here at the ballpark. 322 out to left center. I believe it says 315 or 325 out to left field corner. Center field, 385. 362 out to right center. And then the right field corner, 320. Pickoff throw from Hicks back in time safely. 2 away. Hicks with a chance to get an out at first and second. First pitch to Leah, finds the zone. Lie ahead in the count, 0-1, or down the count, 0-1. This will miss upstairs and even the count, 1 apiece. The Larks pitching side this year has been really dominant. Opponent bat or ERA of 2.20 on the season. This one's fouled back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here to Francisco Lea, the right fielder. Opponent batting average of 190 on the season for the Larks pitchers. Larks have only allowed 3 home runs on the season. This one hits the opposite field side, and it was a hit and run attempt as heading to third base is the runner and Carpenter, as a good hit and run play made by the Pioneers and the bat of Francisco Lea, as now Corey Carpenter will head to third after the base hit for Francisco Lea. Still 2 away. Runners at the corner now. First and third. Here are 2 outs as Hicks looks to just get 1 out either at first or second. Could see Lea on the move. So the 3-hole batter, Luke Nowak, the left fielder, as on the move is Lea, as he'll swipe second with ease. No throw down from Russell, as now 2 runners in scoring position, and only the force at first now. This one will be shot off and fouled off. The 0-1. This one finds the zone. Count moves to 0-2. Just finds the zone is Hicks, as now he's 1 strike away from getting out of this inning, as the tying run is up to bat in Luke Nowak. This will miss outside. The wind is blowing across the outfield today. Best chance he got a home run is going to left field, if anything. With the righty batter, there'll be a bit of a challenge as he'll pop this one up opposite field, but it'll go foul. Count still 1-2. Hicks looks to get out of a jam. This will miss upstairs. 2 balls and 2, full count actually. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here to Francisco Lea. This one fouled out of play, staying alive is the Luke Nowak. Full count pitch once again as Hicks shakes off the call. This one also fouled out of play. It's Nowak putting up a quality at bat here against Hicks. Defense playing back. Lissy playing in a bit over at the third base side. The left-hand batter up, and that will miss down and low near the dirt, as that'll be ball 4, and it will load the bases here with 2 outs. Still 4-1 ball game. Larks lead by 3 here in the bottom of the third. 2 outs still as they'll face off against Bryce Peterson, the third baseman. First one popped up near foul territory. Gruel trying to find it, but it'll go out of play. So that'll be the first strike of the AB here to Bryce Peterson. 0 for 1 on the day for Peterson. Grounded out to Carpenter back in the first inning. He's the final out in the first, as this one will miss the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ashton playing closer down the right field line. This one swung on and missed by Peterson. 1 ball, 2 strikes as Hicks gets ahead in the count here early on. The 1-2 swung on a miss. Hicks gets the big punch out. Second punch out on the day. Will leave the bases loaded as we're through three innings of baseball. 4-1 Hayes Larks as Hicks works out of the jam. Thomas Lissy to get us going here in the top of the fourth. Larks up by 3. Pioneers able to get some runners on base in the bottom of the third, but left stranded as Hicks got the 2-out punch out to get out of the jam. First pitch here to Lissy outside for the first ball of the at-bat. Thomas Lissy had that RBI double back in the second inning. Drove home Tabor Stokes. He'll pop this one up high in the sky as shortstop tries to find it. It runs in a bit. He'll get under it into his glove for the first out here in the top of the fourth. So the top of the order now up, and Trent Baker has put the ball in play in both at-bats today. With the thick infield grass, if Baker can just put it on the ground, he'll have a good chance of legging it out. With his great speed ability, his first pitch, he'll fly out of the ballpark. Ground out to the second baseman, fly out to right field. His last at-bat came in the second inning. Next pitch runs in and hits the lower back of Trent Baker as he will head down to first base. Pitcher in the ballgame for the Pioneers still Ronda Hella, who came into work in the third inning. Got the last two guys out to get him out of it. Allowed a sac fly RBI, but that'll not go towards his ERA on the season. As now you have to work with the runner on base here in the top of the fourth as Caden Ashton will come up to bat. As we were talking about the ballpark dimensions in the last inning, this ballpark is very interesting. You look at the outfield walls and such. The way it's situated, you wouldn't think it would be a non-home run friendly ballpark, as ground ball to third baseman on to second and on to first, not in time. As Ashton will leg it out. They will get one out over at second, though. As 2 away, as Ashton will take over at first here at the top of the fourth. Let's go down as a fielder's choice for Caden Ashton, as he'll take over at first base after the ground ball to the third baseman and Peterson. Caleb Duncan, who's reached base in both at-bats today, a walk in the first, stranded at second, and then hit by a pitch in the third last inning where he stole a base and came around to score. Pickoff attempt over the first, not in time. Ashton back safely. Ashton, who did steal a bag back in the third. It's his 5th stolen base on the season. This one popped up and out of play. I believe the count is 1-1. Our current scoreboard's not up to date at the moment, but I believe the count is 1-1. Pickoff attempt back in time safely is Caden Ashton. Left side playing to the shift is Caleb Duncan, the second baseman near the second base bag. Gotta think he'll be taking the throw down to second if he's on the move. Duncan with this one to the right side, and that'll get down for a base knock as he carries the bat all the way to first. As Duncan gets a 2-out single, that'll advance Ashton to second base. As Caleb Duncan will get on for his 3rd time today. Bring up the cleanup batter, Wilbert Espinal, who already has an RBI on the day. Here were 2 outs, though. Have to try to find a hole. First pitch here from Hello, miss inside Espinal. Ashton over at second. Duncan will take over at first after the 2-out single. Larks already up 4-1. They've scored a run in every inning so far. 1 in the first, 1 in the second, and 2 in the third. This one will miss. 2 balls and no strikes here to Wilbert Espinal. Last week, Espinal, who won Hitter of the Week, was batting .474, hit 3 doubles, and stole 5 stolen bases all in 1 week. Solid week for him as this will miss outside. As Espinal had 3-0. Even the last 7 days for Wilbert Espinal, he's still been the top hitter on the team for the Larks, the .412 average. .706 slugging as he went yard. Espinal will be going to Alabama State next year. Played 2 years at Murray State Community College. Was a standout bat. Him and Gage Gilchrist were teammates and 2 of the best hitters in that lineup. As this one will miss outside for ball 4, as that will load the bases once again in back-to-back innings for the Larks. Still 2 outs. As Rona Hella looking just to get 1 out to get out of this jam. Very similar to Garrett Hicks's bottom of the 3rd inning. Skrull looking to come up big in an RBI spot. Worked out a walk in his last AB. Got stranded at 3rd as first pitch will find the zone. As lightning had just struck out in center field. They're trying to get at least 5 innings in today, but there is a possibility that this game could be postponed and continued on tomorrow. But the Larks will try to get in as many innings as possible and try to see if they come away with a victory, as the next pitch here from Hello runs inside to Gruhl. Gruhl, who has 10 RBIs on the season, along with 2 home runs, hits to the left side. Third baseman Peterson will go the short way with it for the final out, as Hello will escape the jam with the Larks, leaving the bases loaded here in the top of the 4th. As we'll head to the bottom of the 4th, Larks still up by 3. Hicks coming in here to the fourth inning as the Larks, for the first time today, did not score a run in an inning, as they were able to score 1 run in the first, another run in the second, and 2 runs in the third. It's the first time they'll go blank today, as Garrett Hicks will go back to the mound and will face off against the next batter, Jackson Yeager. It is starting to rain here in Gearing, Nebraska, as this one will be fouled back for the first strike of the AB here to Yeager. Starting to rain, and there was some lightning off in the distance, so I'll see how long this one plans on going. The Larks, who will still play tomorrow against the Pioneers, it will be a doubleheader. We'll find out. As diving in from Lissy, took him to his knees, fired to first in time for the first out. What a nice play by Thomas Lissy, a ground ball that took him to his knees, stuck with it, and was able to get the first out here in the bottom of the fourth. As they'll bring up the left-handed DH, and Ethan Mooser reached on an error in his last at-bat. First pitch here to Mooser. As the stands, you can hear people yelling moo, just kind of like Mike Moustakis. Foul misses the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here to Ethan Mooser. Lissy playing in on the third base side. This one be popped up into shallow left field. Running in is the left fielder and Trent Baker, and that will go just foul near the line of the left field line over in left field, but that will be a foul ball as count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Ethan Mooser with 1 away. It's been Hicks's longest outing on the year so far in conference play. As fans in front of us covering up as the rain is starting to come. You hear the thunder outside. This one swung on and missed by Mooser. 3rd K on the day for Garrett Hicks. As 2 away now here in the bottom of the 4th. Hicks with his 3rd strikeout on the day. So that brings us to Jake Maroney. First pitch swung on and missed. And rain is picking up now, as you can definitely see it from our view now. We'll have to see if they can get an out here and see if they can get at least 4 innings in. This one just misses the zone. 1-1 count now here to Jake Maroney. If there is a delay of the game, they move the rest of this game to tomorrow. We will update you guys on the time and such. Our YouTube channel, the timing of the videos, it tells you when you go to our channel and such. We'll update that as soon as we can and let you guys know when the first pitch of the continuation game would be. But hopefully we can get in enough innings to complete this one, as Hicks strikes out Maroney for back-to-back Ks here in the 4th. Hicks looking good. Bounce back inning. A 1-2-3. To the top of the 5th we go. Larks up by 3. there's your upcoming schedule with the Hayes Larks midweek schedule. In case anything happens with this game, as rain is continuing to fall here at the ballpark, the game will continue. But if anything happens, we'll make sure to update you guys here on the YouTube channel. As the top of the fifth we go, Will Carpenter to get us started. Will Carpenter, Houston Russell, and Tabor Stokes all due up here in the top of the fifth. First pitch from Hella outside. 1 ball, no strikes here to Will Carpenter, the second baseman. RBI walk in his last at-bat came in the third inning. Brought in Caden Ashton for the third run of the ball game. As there's fireworks out in right center field. That's interesting on a rainy day, especially. Always a good time to celebrate. July 4th is coming up, so why not show up some fireworks during a lovely baseball game in the rain? As there shouldn't be any rain after the hour, so it is possible they wait for it to go by and they continue to play on. As this one into shallow center field, it drifts and takes it all the way to the center fielder and to the glove of Corey Carpenter for the first out. So the first out recorded. Houston Russell up to bat next. A pop-up that just kept flying out to the outfield. That'll be the first out here in the fifth. Russell with the RBI sac fly back in the third. Brought home Caleb Duncan. Next pitch of Houston Russell finds the zone. First strike of the at-bat. Rain is actually getting even harder out here. You can see it in the lights and around the ballpark. Fans are covered up under whatever cover they can find, as this will go over the head of the right fielder and go all the way to the wall, as Russell will work out an extra base hit here in the fifth as the fireworks go off and Houston Russell gets a double. Houston Russell has been one of the better bats this season, continues to show it. He leads the team in batting average, and being the catcher, just showing how good he really is, as CJ Reed will come in a pinch run for Houston Russell. So Houston Russell with that 1-out double. That brings us to Tabor Stokes, the shortstop. First pitch for Hella will go to the backstop, and C.J. Reed will take over at third now, 90 feet away from scoring the Larks' fifth run. Infield shifting in now as they'll go home with it here in the top of the fifth. 1 out, a ball in play from Stokes. Could score a run. Just depends how hard it's hit and where it's hit. It's the 1-0 to Stokes outside. 2 balls, no strikes. With the rain condition right now, the ball is just getting slipperier for the pitcher. We're starting to see him lose his command. Hella, who's been doing pretty solid over his first couple of innings against the Larks, allowed some base runners. Got the final 2 outs in the third, and then got 3 outs in the fourth. So we'll get his first strike here against Stokes. Second baseman playing very close to the left side near the second base bag. There's a big hole through the right side. Right fielder shifted over towards right center a bit with the lefty batter and Stokes up. The 2-1 to Stokes. Be popped up and thrown out into the air as center fielder trying to find the sky. Right fielder's going to run over and take it over in shallow center field. The throw in is not going to be a good throw and not on the line, as tagging up is C.J. Reed. Sac fly RBI from Tabor Stokes brings another run around a score for the Larks. Tabor Stokes does the job after the sac fly RBI. Larks up by 4 now. And that ball at the gray sky, center fielder couldn't find. He saw him throw his arms up in the air. Did not know where it was at. As a right fielder who hustled all the way over from right center field, took over that ball. Almost got him out at home. It was a low throw, bounced in, and wasn't really on the money, but bounced in perfectly where the catcher almost had enough time to apply the tag. But the Larks get a sac fly nonetheless and extend their lead to 4. As Hella will go back to the full here against Thomas Lissy. Lissy with that RBI double back in the second. Scored Tabor Stokes, so they got back-to-back extra base hits in the second inning with 2 outs, as this one will find the zone for the first strike of the at-bat. 1 ball, 1 strike here against Thomas Lissy, the third baseman. Breaking ball runs in on Lissy. So we'll update our player icon for you guys. There you go. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here were 2 away to Thomas Lissy. This one hit out to the opposite field, towards left field. Left field was playing closer to center. That will get down for a base hit as Lissy will round first, but will put the brakes and head back to first base. 2 hits in today's game for Thomas Lissy, the 9-hole batter, doing the job in the bottom half of the order. As now with 2 outs, Trent Baker, the top of the order hitter, will come up to bat for his 4th time today. And umpires will talk things over, and they will call it as rain is picking up now. And we're going to have a delay of game. This could be postponed. We'll let you guys know if it's postponed or just a little delay. As Larks up 5-1 with Lissy over at first. Here are 2 outs during tonight's rain delay. Larks fans, to let you guys know, tonight's game has been suspended as they'll continue this game on tomorrow at 5 o'clock.